It's a brand new day here in Ho Chi Minh City, otherwise known as Saigon. And in today's video, I want to tell you about the amazing things that happen when you leave Canada, but also some of the drastic changes, the scary stuff. This is the secret about what happens when you leave Canada for a long time. So I've traveled Europe before, and I've worked online from Europe, from Halifax, from where I live. I use the internet to make an income. But the biggest thing that happened when I came here to work online is I didn't settle as immediately as I thought. In fact, when I got to the airport, I didn't get a SIM card in Thailand, and I got into the car, and I remember my first thought being, oh my god, I don't have Google Maps turned on. What if this guy drops me in the middle of nowhere and I just get lost? Oh no, I should have gotten a SIM card. And then I started to panic. And now I realize that was like absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's crazy. I learned how to speak Thai. I learned about the culture. I learned about people. I learned about the gut feeling. Like, if someone's shady, you're gonna feel that off the bat. And in reality, I got super comfortable. After a month, it was like I lived there. And my online business started picking up just a little bit. You know, I got a few more clients. I started working. I was more productive. I had so much energy because everything was new. I was working harder. So the first thing that changed was forced adaptation. I adapted fast, and it was a blast. That rhymed. The second thing is I learned to be alone with my thoughts, and that's a really big thing. I learned about all the thoughts that do come out when you don't have things to distract you. You know, things that upset me from months back came out when I was traveling alone because I had hours to sit by myself and, you know, on the plane, my first few days in a new country, and you just start to think about things that you never really cared about when you were back home. And then you start to really realize all the previous traumas, setbacks, but also the positive things that you're grateful for and what's important to you. And that's not a cliche, like, it actually happened, and it was a massive, drastic change. I learned about my values when I was traveling. It's so strange because I thought about the life that I was living back home, and I removed myself from it. I came to another country, and I started thinking, how was I living? If I were to go back, how would I live differently? What did I do here that allowed me to adapt and make it feel like home? Because when you come to a new country, you're just like, I don't know, like, everything is so new. What? Like, and it's a little bit scary and overwhelming for the first little bit. And then when you're used to traveling, it's not scary, but it's still overwhelming. You just don't know where anything is, and you have to start again. So when I thought about, like, hey, how did I make a completely new country with a completely different culture start to feel like home? Like, walking around the streets, you get that, like, oh, I get it, like, just relaxed, at ease feeling. You're going to buy groceries, and when you go, you feel like kind of sad, like there's like a magnet pulling you back, and you have friends that you picture in certain areas and photographically remember places. That's like, you made that place feel like home really fast. So I try to find those things that I did in those countries. Like, I went to more events, I opened myself up to people more, I worked harder during the day, I made sure my schedule was more on point. Like, all these things are things that I learned to do here that I want to take back home to make home feel more like home. Another thing that happens when you leave Canada for a long time is you get acclimatized to the heat. Canada is cold as hell. If I didn't even say that, this wouldn't even be a Canada video. But it is so warm. Look at what I'm wearing. I'm in Saigon, Vietnam. I'm wearing like shirt, pants, like, I started getting used to the heat probably midway through being in Indonesia. I saw everyone was wearing long pants and freaking jackets in like 30 degrees, and I was like, what the hell? I took my clothes to a laundry service in Indonesia and Bali, and I just had long pants left, like sweatpants. And I put them on, and I was like, what? If I wore this in the summer, I would sweat back home. So I acclimatized to the heat out here. So I think if I were to go back to Canada right now in the middle of, you know, or the start of winter, or even in the middle of winter, I would just die. I would turn into an ice cube, and I would die. The last thing is you really get to learn your body and how little things affect it. You become more aware when you're traveling. For example, like when I was out here, I would get sick. And I would go, okay, I got sick because I was cold, because I ate this 2 days ago. Like, you just have a better idea of why you got yourself sick. You're focusing on taking care of yourself a little bit more when you're traveling if you're doing the right thing. And then you become hyper aware of all the things that affect you, and the things that affect your mood in new places, the things that boost your mood, because you can go through a lot of lows, lower than back home, but your highs are better than back home as well, because the new experience and opportunities out here are incredible. You will experience things you've never experienced in your life. So you get to learn about what really initiates those highs and what gets you, drops you down to those lows. And then you become hyper aware of how to fix it and how to change your circumstances to be happier. So those are the things that happen to you when you leave Canada for a long time. As many of you know, I'm going to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia next. After that, I will be going to India. I'm setting my sights on Mumbai, staying there for a couple weeks, hopefully hosting an event with a lot of you guys, and I hope you will come out. I have to head to a coffee shop now, work for my clients, but thank you for watching.